The 10 worst things about living in Thailand. I did a video about this 7 years ago and I thought it probably requires an update because even looking at that now, and the video still gets seen, 7 years later, I have a completely set of different opinions about what it's like to live here in Thailand and all the inconveniences. I'll go through the list, but the one inconvenience today, of course, that struck me today is it's 90-day check-in. Yes, I could do it online and all that sort of stuff, but you've got to do that 7 days beforehand. Blah, blah, blah. But, we always like to drive out there and find somewhere to have nice for lunch. But yeah, it's a Labor Day today, so they're closed. It's amazing how many times that they actually close that immigration office, which is a bit of an inconvenience, but it's not actually on my list. Anyway, we've got 10 to talk about. Well, we'll call that number 1, but we'll cover the other 9 when we get on the road, okay? Well, today we're out at a little place here called Barn Cake, as in K-A-K-E. I don't know, it's just a slip in the spelling, but we were talking about eating lots of cake last time in the video. Well, maybe we're going to eat cake. Barn Cake dessert. Interesting. She picked it because it's a nice little garden restaurant, hopefully a bit cooler than it is everywhere else in Thailand right now. Damn, it's hot. Yeah. You have to get, one of the things you have to get used to. It's actually on my list about the things that, yeah. But anyway, we've got a nice little air-conditioned room in here. Okay. And yeah, Mum's with us today as well. It is the 1st of May, it's lottery day today. Oh, actually, lottery day tomorrow, I think. Oh, no, we don't have space. Have 3 people, darling. Have to wait. This is the only location? Okay. Okay, we just wait. The guy here, he obviously must work in the place. He said, come on over here, have more location. So, won't have to wait so long. There we go, look at that. And yes, it's still air conditioned, so it's not cool. So that's all good. Yeah, so I'm guessing that this is the overflow location since the other place is full. Anyway, I want to get into these tips. I don't want to drag them. It could go up to 30 minutes, who knows. But on this particular thing was that I shot this tent 7 years ago. I'd only been in the country 6 months, and these are the 10 things that floated my boat, if like made me a little bit annoyed. I'm just going to review them because it just seems like a great thing to review. And there's, 7 years later, and that video still gets watched, and you still learn to live in Thailand a different way. So let's look about it. The first one on that list was Thai music and Thai TV. I suppose back then, because of the fact that there was really no rock stations and everything else, and no, idiot box to watch because it's all in Thai, apart from the occasional movie that might be in English with Thai subtitles. Yeah, you get the whole idea. Thai TV and Thai radio, I just didn't think there was much in it. These days it's a completely different story. It doesn't even bother me now. And I actually have found some Thai music and some Thai radio stations that aren't too bad to listen to on the drive here and there, although I do have my packaged music. There are a few channels out there that play a little bit more, the sort of, beaty music that I used to like. So, yeah, we change our tune after being here for some time, don't we? I suppose the next one on my list, number 2, was noise pollution. It sort of goes in hand with the radio and TV sort of side of things, but one of the things that takes a bit of getting used to over here is the loudspeakers everywhere you go. Temples, places which you would thought would be, like places of solitude and worship. 9 times out of 10 you go to the temples and there's loudspeakers in your ear. Something you get used to. It doesn't bother me so much these days, but it's a far cry from what we would be used to back home. The third one that was on my list, I have to probably give that a sort of strike that one off. General untidiness is what I wrote down. And that was really sort of living in, the area where we're in non-chem, where you've got 30 to 40-year-old buildings, and you can see all the mildew and moss growing on the outside of buildings. It gives the buildings a really sort of unkept look. Plus, the general rubbish disposal systems. Obviously, knowing how the system works here and move-ons and everything else, you start to realise it's not really something that any one person can resolve. People are lazy, and it's a lot easier to dump the rubbish on the back of a side street than it is to actually sort of organise a garbage crew like our move-on, part of our estate fees, which is $750 a month. We have, that includes the refuge service, covers the gate fees, covers the closed circuit, TV system that they have for security, covers obviously the lighting in the move-on, the whole thing. And move-on's clean, but it's only 3 years old. After about maybe 10 years, anyone move on, people stop paying their maintenance fees, and so they tend to fall into disorganised chaos, if you want, or the best word. And it's something that you have to get used to. But when we start moving out a bit further west, I tell you what, places are a lot greener around here and a lot less rubbish seen. And again, 7 years ago, maybe the situation was worse. These days, I don't find it sort of anywhere near as bad, unless, of course, it's a sort of a road that you might not go down so often, like not much traffic, which is where they tend to dump that excess rubbish, if you know what I mean. Again, it's all to do with laziness more than anything else. There's no real definite reason why they want to make the place dirty, but it does happen. Anyway, our menu's here, so we'll see what we can eat. Okay, come on. Oh, she tells me, say hello. She's brought me an English menu. That's very good. Oh, that's food sorted. What did you order, darling? What did you order? Again? Every time. What mum she order?
She ordered tom yum.
Tom yum? Yep. Okay. And I've ordered gai paprika, which is... What? Oh, that's your phone. Oh, what was that noise? Anyway, on my list of things there, what was the next one? The next one was, there we go, two-tier pricing. Now, again, this does not bother me one bit these days, and I've been here long enough to know the fact that Thais don't get paid a lot of money. Yes, and in saying that, okay, the way I leveled the whole thing out is I just won't tip anybody inside those places that you have to pay a per diem just because you come from a different country. That's just the way I deal with it. But generally, $1 versus $4. I don't go to national parks, which is 10 times the price, but those are the sort of things that do happen. You get a 10 times surcharge for just being a foreigner here. But the amount of times that it comes up is very minimal, so again, it doesn't bother me anymore. But it can be something that will annoy a lot of people. The next one I had on my list was moaning expats. And again, maybe sort of post-COVID era, I just don't see that happening anymore. Yeah, there are a few, kicking the tire YouTube channels out there, but they're doing that for more the views rather than to actually sort of have an issue with it. Yeah, people will complain about things here in Thailand because it's the nature of people to complain, unless, of course, it suits their reality, Me, after 7 as I said last video, just take it easy, chill out, live the simple life. When you start to live the simple life, you'll find things just don't bother you anymore. That's one of the things I really do appreciate here in Thailand. So here we are at point 6, and I had it down as Bangkok traffic. I'll have to recategorise that one as well. It's again, you're going to get traffic no matter where you have people on the roads. It's more about the uncaring or just the lack of road sense Thai drivers that cause the problem with the traffic. the examples I use, like on the main roads, you'll have, what they call lead-in lanes, where what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to match the speed of the traffic, right, and merge in quite nicely. What we find generally is people will merge in at 20 kilometres an hour, right? The person behind that person there realises they're going 20 miles, so he'll move into the next lane, right, which is probably going 40 miles an hour. That person that he just cut off then merges into the outside lane and slows the other traffic down. And so every time you get a traffic merge, everybody slows down. It's sort of just one lane. And that happens everywhere. And the other sort of side is, of course, the typical U-turn. You'll find U-turns are the main way on these multi-lane roads that gets people from point A to point B on the other side of the road. We have traffic lights and, right-hand and left-hand turn signals and so on and so forth to really meter the traffic when they can turn, but we have very few traffic lights here. And what they do is they just have a lay-back lane for the centre where you're supposed to turn into do a complete U-turn across 3 lanes of road. This is where you get some real traffic jams, because if you have like a 5 kilometre stretch of road and you've got 20 U-turns, that whole 3 lanes of traffic going the other direction are always held up. So it's just one of those sort of things. It's not so much the traffic, it's just that people just don't know how to do a U-turn. Especially the ones that even have a U-turn layback lane that you merge into. People don't even know how to do that. Well, don't sit there waiting for people, because there's nobody in that lane that you're going to have to wait for. Oh, really? Anyway, this is the sort of thing that really sort of upsets the traffic flows here in Thailand. And not only the fact that they don't have properly computer-controlled trays in between multi-sets of lights. They tend to be still driven manually by people, so you get used to it. So you might notice we're doing a few more how to live sort of things here in Thailand, which is the last few videos we've done. And I think people seem to be interested about more of the living aspect here as opposed to tourism. So we'll continue to do little tidbits like this along the way, and we've got a photo opportunity happening. You know how it goes. Always doing the YouTube, always doing the TikToks. Oh, really? Yes. Number 7 on that list was the visa thing. Well, I suppose every country is going to have a visa requirement, people for foreigners coming in. We're looking at all the boat people arriving in England at the moment, so there seems to be some sort of real contentious issue over there. But generally, you're going to go anywhere, you're going to have to deal with a visa. I don't find it inconvenient. It's once a year, out of the 365 days a year you've got, you've got one day that you're going to have to deal with the visa thing. You can use agencies and things like that. For us, it's just a quick drive out west, which would have been my drive today for the 90-day check-in. But I have to do that Friday myself because it's Labour Day today and it's an holiday. But again, these things here I thought were the worst things about Thailand. I just think they're just minor inconveniences these days, and it doesn't really sort of bother me one bit. It gives us a chance to get out, see more of Thailand. We always pick a different restaurant to go to. The whole thing. It's any reason to get out of the house is always a good reason. Everything is low. What I'm talking about here is the fact that I'm 5'9", Shanya's 5'7", Mum's only 5 foot nothing. It doesn't bother her, but everywhere we go, there's always those low-hanging booms and branches and awnings. That still is an inconvenience when you aren't tall. You're going to have to get used to ducking. Or, like me, wear a hat. People don't realise that brim saves a lot of bruises. It really does. But yeah, it's just something you'll have to get used to. It's not so much an inconvenience anymore. You get used to it after a while. You start to walk, with a sixth sense awareness. That awning looks a bit on the low side. That beam looks a bit low. That door looks a bit low. You get used to it after a while. Although the last video was titled The 10 Worst Things About Thailand, I realised there was only 9 here. Yes, darling? That's another thing. Borrowing the tools, getting them back at lunch the next day. Oh, really? It's my special screwdriver. Had that for years, you know. But yeah, number 9 was talking about go-go bars. Yeah, well, back 7 years ago, there was a spate of YouTubers flaunting the community standards of YouTube, and I was just seeing one in every 3 videos talking about Thailand. We always sort of voyeur videos or hidden camera videos of go-go bars. It was rather unsightly, it's not necessary, and it highlights the wrong aspect here in Thailand. Yes, if you're going to come to Thailand and you're male, I'm sure that you will visit a go-go bar here, or like a nightclub go-go bar thing at some time when you visit, or you stay here, and I quite freely admit, me and the boys, after our little Friday meetups once a month, which is the first Friday of every month down at the Down Under bar, well, we do make a bit of a sort of a democratic proposition about where we're going to go and hang out next. Most of the time it's just across the road at my other friend's place, Redfern Bar. But like probably once a month we must say, well, let's go to Soy Cowboy and see how much the bright lights have changed, or go to Nana, or go somewhere here. I think last Friday we went to the Green Room and we watched a live band. But go-go bars, again, I don't find them anywhere near as distasteful as what they used to be. You just get the chance to let them in. But again, the thing that probably is the most upsetting about that is the leverage of people doing the sneaky videos. And don't forget, these girls here are, they have families and they've got to live in their community when they go home for their, probably 2 times a year for holidays, which is Christmas and Songkran. They've got to live with the locals there. If they've been, doing that sort of work, it can leave a distasteful aspect to their family position, and you're going to realise that. As far as I'm concerned, it's good work, it gives them some money. It's your thing, but it's not Thailand, that's for certain. I think it gives Thailand a wrong impression more than anything else. I don't find it worst things. Back then I did, only because of the video aspect, but these days it's just part of Thailand. Don't make a habit of it, probably the last thing I'll say there. And for number 10, which I've added to this list, the heat. Honestly, it is hot. This is the hottest I've seen it here in Thailand in 7 years I've been here, and for the 15 years, actually for the 20 years I've been coming to Thailand, yes, this is the hottest Thailand in 20 years that I've noticed. It's again, it's probably right now, it should be number 1 on my list because it's probably the one that's the most challenging right now. Even inside here on this air conditioner, it's set for 20, it's probably maybe 27, 28, feels quite humid. It's a fairly small room and they're opening and closing the doors all the time, and that heat, as soon as that door opens up, yes, you get the idea. It's hot outside. I think we're pushing 40 today, isn't it? Quickly, just have a look at my phone. Oh, what's it, 30? Oh, it says 39. No, it says 38. Feels like 45, but yeah. It only happens for probably 2 months of the year. They've already announced the fact that the rainy season is probably going to be delayed by 2 weeks. That normally comes around the 2nd week in May. They're now saying it's going to be the end of May before we start to see the rains. Hopefully we'll see it sooner, but more than likely we're going to see it late, if you know what I mean. Shania was just saying it's very, very busy today.
Very busy today.
Very busy today, yes. Yep. I suppose I could add those little tidbits, like one of the things that I suppose for somebody like me who's OCD or CDO, when you put the letters in the right order, is like, we're so used to, Western style meals where you got entree, main course and desserts. Yeah, everything all arriving at once and out of order here in Thailand is quite normal. It used to bother me. It doesn't bother me so much these days, as long as I get fed. But yeah, there'll be lots of little things that'll annoy a lot of people. Oh, this one for me, that one for you, okay. Different straws for different drinks. Okay, it's a straw. Got my latte, yeah, yes. Anyway, we're just still waiting for our food, so we'll see how we go with that. Oh, and of course now they're going to take photos of it. Really? Really? What's so special about coffee? And frappe. Anyway, lunch is on its way. We'll be here. And then we'll wrap it up when we've had lunch. So honey, so Ben, he go for checkup in the hospital on Monday.
Yeah.
So everything's still okay?
Him, doctor he say me everything okay, but have to wait for. Now him just wait when stop pharmacy everything.
Okay.
And now him stop everything. Have to check, see every time when you no problem when him not eat before he eat pharmacy, and now him stop everything. Right?
Okay.
And doctor him see maybe 3 months to wait for when not eat pharmacy and him okay, no problem, okay. Now him just stop already now, and have to wait for see feeling.
So that's a bit of an update on our Ben situation. It has been just over 12 months since that issue occurred. Once Ben is fully copacetic and answers the questions and everything else and understands my English and my spattering of Thai, we'll actually see if we can get to the bottom of really what happened. From what we understand, he was riding on one of those very narrow chrome pathways on his motorcycle and clipped the handlebar on one of the bars, as you go, because they're very narrow. I can barely, fit the Vulcan down one of those paths, although I have done in the past. And kids, they drive a bit faster. Clipped the handlebars, went arse over tipped and, landed on his head without a helmet. That's basically what we know. We haven't heard much more about that. But yeah, again, inconvenience are things that I find annoying here in Thailand. Yeah, I wish people would take care of their health a bit more, like preventative maintenance. There is documented evidence of that helmets do save lives. Well, okay, he didn't die without a helmet. The thing is, he probably might not have crushed his skull, if you know what I mean, if he did have one on. This is Thailand after all. But yeah, this is what we're going to look at. The Thais will do Thai things. It's a very relaxed society here, and we quite like the fact that we're so relaxed. We don't have to worry about too many things. Annoy, mate? Good. Still waiting for the rice, of course, but it'll get here, and of course the tom yum. Things never arrive at the right time. Of course, mind you, if you're only paying a couple of dollars per plate, you never really worry about the timing so much, if you know what I mean. Oh, really. Although I haven't got the bill yet, doesn't that meal just look yummy? Seriously. What do you think, darling? Good? Good? Yeah? I'm going to take the photos. Okay, right. So, darling, you think it's okay here?
Yes, I'm okay.
You sure?
Very nice taste, very good food,
Yeah.
but
It really is a nice little garden restaurant when you think about it.
Have a lot.
Got lots of outside areas to sit down and relax and everything else. There will be a map pinned down below. I will add the fact that came to 1,065 baht, which is quite reasonable for 3 people. Cost that, I suppose, just over 300 baht per person. What's 300 baht? At 25. Well, was it $10 for 3? Oh, 25. I'm terrible trying to do that math. It wasn't expensive, just over $40 for 3 people. Can't really complain about that, really. Food was great. Even taking a doggy back home because I couldn't eat it all. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, darling. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. We wrap it up here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed those few tips that I've thrown there, and I'd love to hear your comments. What's the sort of things that you guys watch in this video? What's the things about Thailand that sort of cheese you off, We'd love to know, and maybe we'll recap this thing here with user comments. What's the things that other people find annoying here in Thailand? But quite frankly, the more time you spend here, the less annoying it gets. It really is. It's the easy life. It really is. Anyway, see you guys. We'll catch you next video. I think we've got the meet up on Friday. We might even do a video from Susie's bar. Who knows? Bye. Bye. F and BMW drivers think they own the place. Seriously. Why can't people learn to park properly? Oh my God.
I want you to live.